We are here with Washington head coach Jedd Fisch, and back on the West Coast now. This is a little bit of a home game for you. Did the Seattle to Vegas flight not too bad, right?
Yeah, Seattle Vegas not too bad. Seattle to Indianapolis last year, that was a hike. So we're excited that it's here and be on the West Coast, not change the time, not change the clock. It's good.
Jedd's a real friend of the program because when we, post things, you're like, what the hell? Or hey, right? Like I like getting the feedback.
He tells us when we mess up our rankings.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you a little treat. Then last week we were talking about teams that aren't being discussed enough nationally that could shock people, and I thought Washington was one of them. So what do you think of that?
I can't believe you actually said that. All right, that's impressive. That
you think I'm a hater?
Nah, I'm just saying that. I appreciate you bringing that up. I think that I think we have a good team. I really do, and I'm not going to shy away from that. And we have 11 returning starters. A year ago, we had one. We have a returning quarterback that I think is really talented. We got bigger. We got some good portal additions of starters at other programs that were Power 4 programs, not FCS programs from a year ago. And it puts us in a good spot.
You were very honest last year about what the rebuild entailed. Did it go faster than you thought it would, or?
I think we have to see how we play as a team. I feel like it was kind of what it was last year. I mean, you got caught up in a situation where I don't think anyone thought there was going to be that movement that late in the game, January 18th or so. And then how the dominoes fell, and then trying to revamp and retool and rebuild and not really know who the guys are.
Yeah.
Now we're in a good spot. So now we got to roll.
Jedd, you have turned around another program recently, and year 1 to year 2 was the biggest jump. Do you find yourself looking back at here's how I felt in the summer of, between year 1 and year 2, and how do you feel now? Like, are there parallels between we can do that again quickly from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah. I think when we were in Tucson, it was, year 1 was, and it was really, we were so far behind the 8 ball in so many different areas. And one of the things that we did was we wanted to redo the facility and make changes. And we did the same thing at Washington. And now, the construction's done, and we did about a $30 million revamp, and we put ourselves in a position to now be who we want to be. I'm hopeful that we have that similar type jump. I don't know if it can be that good of a jump, but we'll take it if we can do it.
Well, the difference is in Tucson, you had that class coming in, and they came in year 2. You had Damon last year, and then decided to start him at the end of last year. He played really well against Oregon and Louisville. You didn't win either of those games, but it was very clear that this guy's the future. How valuable is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think even we didn't win them, but he was 78% completion.
Yeah.
He was 8 touchdowns, 1 interception.
It's like 10 yards per attempt. It was insane.
Yeah, his numbers were really through the roof if you were to look at it. And then he came back and he just got bigger and stronger, and he's now up to 200 pounds. He was 179 pounds. His ability to understand what we're trying to get done. Jonah Coleman coming back, Denzel Boston coming back. We didn't lose anyone in the portal on offense, and we lost 1 starter on defense, and we replaced him with Tacario Davis.
Right.
So we really didn't have any changes portal-wise. So I think that puts us in a great spot, and Damon now is real comfortable with the receivers around him.
Jedd, you know how fickle sports media and sports discourse is. 2 years ago, as you were going through a coaching search, change, whatever, you were one of the hottest. And then, you're going through a build, and then people lose track. And it's not just you. It happens all the time with everybody. And it's almost like people think you forgot how
This is Ari's excuse for us leaving him off the top 25 coaches list.
But, you can go back and check tape, Jedd. It's like, I didn't say, the guy forgot how to coach, all of a sudden. But do you have a sense of, I know that building Washington and winning games is obviously the number 1 goal. But when you're a coach and you see lists and rankings and off-season discourse, do you have a personal fire to be like, what the hell, man? And then does that drive you, or is it always players first, Washington first?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be lying if I was to say I'm not externally motivated a little bit. I think we all play with a little chip on our shoulder. You listen to Joe Burrow talking at the quarterback the other day, right? And he, one of the quotes was, I'll always remember who didn't think I was good enough. And I will either one, try to prove them wrong, and two, prove me right. So I feel the very same way. And I think that as we go through the process, I remember when in 2021, Shane Beamer and I were ranked the 2 worst hires in college football. And
Do you remember who wrote that?
I don't, Ari.
Oh, it wasn't me.
I
but
know.
I
He
didn't know.
does.
I just didn't know.
Being nice.
But you remember those things, and now, I love watching Shane and do what he's doing in South
Yeah, he's doing
Carolina.
great.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's fun.
That is always amazing to me, because when they try to tell you to do best or worst, I'm like, we can't do that, because one, you have no idea when somebody's coming into a job, especially you and Shane, good example. You'd never been college head coaches before. How do you know
Right.
that somebody's not going to be a good college head coach? You have no clue, especially if you don't know these people.
Oh yeah.
So, and the thing is, it's funny because knowing both of you as I did before you got those jobs, I was like, actually, those guys probably have the skill sets to do this, and clearly you did. So
Yeah, well, we're just still, we're still in year 5, both of us going into year 5. And I'm just excited about this team at Washington. I think we have a really good group of kids. I love the amount of kids that have come with us.
yeah,
That senior day this year, there's a lot of kids that I coached for 4 years at 2 years. And it's just cool to see it. Ephesians Pricesock and Jonah Coleman are both here with us.
yeah.
And both those guys were class of 22 that you were referring to.
Mhm.
And, we had them for 2 years, and then they came here for 2 years, and it's just fun to watch it grow.
Takario Davis is not somebody that I think is
Oh, he's
getting
gonna be
his
great.
proper
Yeah.
due in terms of just like alien-like traits and stuff. Like, how good of a player is he in the second back half of your defense? And like, can you contextualize how big it is to bring him in?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge to get him. Pricesock 6'3", Takario's 6'3", 6'3 and a half. So you've got now your 2 corners are both 6'3", 6'3 and a half. You look at them walk on the field together, and you want to play man coverage. You want people to try to, throw it around them or over them. It's very hard to do. So I think having those 2 guys make a huge difference in our secondary. Rashawn Clark is a freshman that we recruited at Arizona that came with us when we got here to Washington, who's from Seattle, and he's going to play nickel for us, and it's going to be really good.
I was gonna say, you're talking about great corners. Your defensive coordinator Ryan Walters, it didn't work out at Purdue. But the last time he was at Illinois, he had some pretty great corners too, and that all worked out. I mean, one of them was in the first round. And how much has Ryan added to your defense?
Oh, it's been great. It's been a great get for us. I think it's our biggest off-season acquisition. You look at what he did at Purdue, right? 97th in total defense, goes to first. 107th in scoring, goes to second, whatever it might have been. 5 or 6 categories in the top 5.
Yeah.
And to have him with us now and coordinating, and brought in Taylor Mays to coach our safeties and Brian Odom to coach our linebackers, and then kept everybody else that we've had since 2021 is pretty cool on defense. And I just think these kids are going to benefit, right? It was a top 5 pick 2 years ago.
Yep.
For the Seahawks, right around the corner. He's coached guys that have been drafted in the first round, second round, third round. It should really help our defense.
Okay, we have you, Seattle resident, on the show.
Do you like? I don't know. I know you see clips, but like,
we
the
okay.
shtick of the
Before
show,
we
right? Like,
talked,
yeah.
we talked about this. I'm not kidding. For 10 minutes on the show 2 days ago.
Okay, I did not see that.
Are you? I because you're busy. I understand.
But just preface it. We were showing pictures of your stadium.
Okay.
And I've never seen a game there in my career. And I said, that is probably number 1. There it is. Number 1 on stadiums I would love to go to, because I heard it was beautiful. And then can I ask you this?
Well, so what I said, I was telling him about the first time you fly into Seattle and you look out the plane window and you see Mount Rainier.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you see it from like your office, or
Yes.
do you ever think about like how that's like an active volcano? Like, does that ever like dawn on you, or ever think about it?
No, that's never crossed my mind.
Ari is terrified that if we go
Nor
cover
did
one
I
of your
know
games,
that it was an active volcano.
that Mount Rainier's going to erupt while we're there.
And I just didn't know if that's how normal people thought. I'm like, because I've never been to Seattle. It's one of the 3 remaining major cities in the country I've never been to. And I was like, do people in Seattle think about that like on a day-to-day basis?
No, I don't think so. I've never heard that until today.
Okay. Yeah. Google it. It's pretty terrifying.
This is amazing. It apparently hasn't done anything in 1,000 years. So I think we're
You've got
good.
time, but like Andy said, like the National Weather Service will give you a heads up if it
I mean,
starts.
hopefully. One would think.
I would think I feel comfortable going back to Seattle and not.
If we're in Husky
worrying.
Stadium, we could just dive in Lake Washington. We're good.
Yes,
I don't really think that's how that lava works, though.
it would have to get through the water. We're fine.
Or you don't know anything. Like, how do you know how lava works?
That was a topic of conversation at dinner last night, Jedd. I don't know anything about anything.
Really?
Like, it's like college football, I think I know quite a bit about, but even then that's limited. But like, just we were playing trivia and I didn't know any answers. Like, and I just it dawned on me, like, I don't have any general knowledge.
Just stops right at college football.
Yeah.
Well, listen, as someone who remembers things that I shouldn't have any business remembering, it just pushes out useful knowledge. So or things that I need to know. So it's fine.
Yeah.
But you learned a lot in Jimmy Ray Stevens' offensive line room.
Jimmy Ray Stevens, for those who don't know, former Florida offensive line coach. Exactly how you'd imagine if Thomas Magnum, if Magnum PI had grown up in Pensacola and had a giant dip in his mouth. That is the meeting room, the cherry skull from the meeting room. That smell will never leave me.
That is a great description.
I would do an impression of him evaluating our performance, but we would get canceled for it. So
we can't do that.
But
not
yes.
in 2025.
But we love you, Coach Steve.
Yes, we do.
Good people, Jimmy Ray and Regina Stevens.
That's probably a pretty distinctive scent.
A cherry skull.
I didn't know they made cherry. I thought it was like wintergreen and all that.
It exists.
Maybe we'll do a bet this year, and if whoever's Washington over under, whoever is right or wrong.
Jedd came up with one of the all-time great college football staffs, though. Some of the Steve Spurrier staffs of when you were in school were just tremendous human beings. They were fun people.
It's amazing, and it's the greatest credit, right, to that staff, because you look at it, and they all were together for so long.
Yeah,
from Jim Collins to Lawson Holland to Bob Sanders.
That's right.
I mean, you talk about some of the
Rod Broadway, who became a great head coach in
Dwayne
the HBCUs. Yes,
Dwayne Dixon.
Yeah, so Dwayne Dixon. You know what he said. Whatever day it is today. What's today? Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday,
the
best day of the week. Great day to get better.
That's every day.
And then James Bates, the linebacker, who's now a famous painter, would say, "Best day of the week. Great day to eat butter."
It's a great
But
stuff.
I think about it every time somebody tells me what day it is. I hear Dwayne Dixon in my head. Tuesday, best day of the week. Great day to get better.
It was the best. Buddy Tevens was on that staff.
He was. May he rest in peace.
Yes,
also,
but one of the most special people I've ever been around.
Giant Jimmy Buffett fan. So smart. The head coach at Stanford, head coach at Dartmouth. You've gotten to work with such amazing people. You worked with Jim Harbaugh. You've worked with McVay. Do you ever think like how blessed this coaching life has been that all these people have been put in your path?
Yeah, I do. I actually have in my office that the greatest privilege of my life is to have coached with the greatest coaches of all time. It's a quote that I have in my office with a wall of all of those guys. And it's just so special to have been around everybody from Coach Spurrier on. And it hasn't stopped, been surrounded by great assistant coaches and head coaches, and I'm real lucky.
Do you think that being a good coach, from a personality standpoint, being weird, like personally, is like a good thing? Like, I mean, like if you like,
That's not weird though.
No, I know, but I'm just asking you.
I mean, they're all kind of weird, but
yeah.
Who's the most unique personality outside of football coaching tactics that you've been around, and why?
Oh man, I mean,
man's worked for Steve Spurrier and Jim Harbaugh.
I was going to say,
yeah. I mean, I've worked
I
for
would love
some.
to know what it would be like to go to lunch with Jim Harbaugh and not talk about football. Like what that experience would be like.
Well, you probably wouldn't not talk about football.
Yeah.
Jim is great. It's so funny. It's like what you see a lot is really who they are. Like a lot of people, like the mic'd ups and the interviews are, it's hard to hide who you are.
Yeah.
So like who you are is who you are. Now there's always, Coach Belichick is a little bit more quiet in interviews than what he normally is like.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, these guys everyone's really who they are, and we're all unique in our own way. I think we all made our way.
Were you ever on the Patriots staff when Belichick dressed up in a costume?
No, I was there.
You never had a Halloween party?
No. We dressed up in Zoom calls.
No, if he dressed up as the Gordon Fisherman back then, yeah.
No, he did the pirate thing one year, and no,
he's a Halloween person.
He's got
loves Halloween.
Wow.
Loves Halloween.
That's amazing. All right, while we've got Jedd here, we do have to ask him this because we ask most of our guests this unless we forget. So I'm not going to forget. What are your rules for life? Or do you have one main rule for life?
Smile a lot.
Like that.
I learned that from Coach Burr. He said, "Say yes sir, no sir, and smile a lot, and you'll live a great life."
3 simple rules. I have 3 also. Never complain about free food. Never complain about free beer. Never skip leg day. And you will also have a happy life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mine is don't eat at restaurants that specialize in multiple types of cuisine.
Okay.
If they do fish and
Tacos and
pizza
sushi.
or something, that's not a good thing.
It's a good rule of
Yeah,
life
yeah.
as well.
That's
I
the
like
whole
I like
life,
the, I like the Steve Spurrier ones. The Steve Spurrier one that he should do, because if you just go by how he lives his life, always be honest.
Always be honest.
Sometimes brutally so.
How about
Man has never lied once in his life.
how about what he wrote on the whiteboard before every game? Have fun competing.
There you go.
That's a good one in life too.
The only thing I remember is it's not your fault, son. It's our fault for putting you in there.
I've used that one a few times as well.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.